Episode 9 is set to bring a return of 3 legacy characters from the original trilogy, that of course being Luke Skywalker, Lando Calrissian, and General Leia Organa. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, when we look at the character of Luke Skywalker, we do know that a lot of people were very much upset with how the character was used in The Last Jedi, and of course, how we saw him in The Force Awakens. It really did open up a lot of different possibilities of what could have happened in The Last Jedi. Now, going into Episode 9, we do know that the writer and director J.J. Abrams is taking the character of Luke Skywalker in a totally different way. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. However, when it all comes down to John Williams, the man who makes the music when it comes to the Star Wars films, is that he will actually be conducting a new theme for the character of Skywalker in Episode 9 by early 2019. Now, what's really interesting to me about all of this is that could this very well have to do with a theme for Luke Skywalker's Force Ghost, or maybe it's going to be a theme that best fits one of the flashback scenes to be told about Luke Skywalker's past life in Star Wars Episode 9. Now, what's really intriguing to me about all of this is that it seems like Disney and Lucasfilm are really trying to focus on the character of Luke Skywalker, even all the more so in comparison to The Last Jedi, in a very unique way. Now, we do know that yes, to our knowledge so far, that Luke Skywalker is dead. There's no plans to bring him back to life unless J.J. Abrams was lying to Mark Hamill when he said, no, you're dead, get used to it all. Sure, he could have been lying like how he was lying about Khan in the Star Trek movies. However, aside from all of this, when we look at the character of Luke, I think that when we look at him as a character, you always think about the great Star Wars music that comes along with it and with him. And the fact that we will be getting a new theme for the character of Skywalker in Episode 9, I believe that this all has to do with him actually making his first Force Ghost debut. Or this could very well have to do with a flashback sequence between himself and Ben Solo, or maybe just himself only. Now, with that being said, I will say one thing is that Mark Hamill, we actually have heard about this a couple of days ago, is that Mark Hamill is actually going to be doing his own lines in Episode 9 for the character of Luke. He's basically going to be improvising in this film, and this matches directly up with what Oscar Isaac said not too long ago, that they're not taking the film as seriously as they were with The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, and this film, it's more laid back. A lot of the actors and actresses are going to be able to write their own dialogue and come up with their own dialogue in Episode 9. The same exact thing goes for the character of Luke Skywalker by, of course, actor Mark Hamill. And honestly, if you have listened to the things that Mark Hamill has actually come up with before in the past, Mark Hamill could really be a writer if he really wanted to. He is a talented person. He even actually suggested that in The Force Awakens, both Luke and Leia should have reunited and witnessed the death of Han Solo, that they were there, but too late to save him. That would have been a better experience in The Force Awakens, as Mark Hamill has said, than both Rey and Finn witnessing the death of Han Solo for a man that they knew for 2 days? That's what Mark Hamill said, I believe, at one of the events a couple of months ago. So very interesting for sure. So when we look at, the character of Luke, I am just crossing my fingers here that J.J. Abrams is going to pull it off very, very well, that'll just truly resonate with the fans, and that we will actually just enjoy the character in Star Wars Episode 9 in both the forms of a flashback and a Force Ghost. And that's another thing. I do know that a lot of people out there just don't like the idea of a Force Ghost or a flashback. I completely understand that. I understand how a lot of you guys out there just want Luke to come back to life and to get back into action in present time. We also know that not only will Mark Hamill actually be providing his own dialogue in the film for the character of Luke, but will also be able to act his own ways in this movie, which honestly I think is a great thing by J.J. Abrams and crew, Disney and Lucasfilm. I think it shows that they finally care now when it comes to Mark Hamill and what he wanted to do in The Force Awakens and in The Last Jedi, and how he actually perceived the character of Luke Skywalker and whatnot. So yeah, guys, I think everything is really taking shape here when it comes to Episode 9. We are just 1 month and change change pretty much at this point once December is over. At that point, it's just 1 month and change until filming ends for episode 9, until they enter post-production and start adding in all the CGI and the music and the special effects, you name it. I could totally understand where you guys are coming from because, you know, that's what we were all expecting to see in The Last Jedi, more action for the character of Luke. So, let me know what you guys have to say about all this below. You know, do you think that a new theme for Luke in episode 9 is a good or a bad idea? And what do you actually think it's going to be associated with? Do you think it's going to be associated with his Force Ghost or a flashback sequence? Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.